All right, chat. I'm done with PUBG. We're gonna do a PUBG tier list though. PUBG weapon tier list. All right. AK. I'm just gonna go in order. I think AK is A tier. I like the AK. I think the AK is good. But it's and it got buffed recently. But I think it's the most balanced weapon in all of PUBG. Nah, AK is an A. I think it's the most balanced weapon in PUBG. It's never been too OP. It's never been too... It's just kind of a really balanced AR. Nah, AK is A. 100%. It's A. It's just very well balanced, man. It's never been too strong, never been too bad. It's a great gun. I just suck with it. And it's not great for drive-bys, but... Alright, AUG is S tier. We know this. Current AUG is absolutely insane. AUG is insane right now. If you guys have not tried the AUG, it is absolutely absurd right now. It's obviously not like old crate AUG. Old crate AUG would have been like top of S tier. But the AUG right now is absolutely insane. Easy S tier. I don't even have to explain this one. Arguably the best gun in the game. I don't need to say anything more. Double barrel. Double barrel. Probably a C. It's still a shotgun. But, like, you're not going to want to run a double barrel over a pump or a DBS or even an S12K these days, in my opinion. It's just like, it's kind of mid. 2017 pump or a double barrel was absolutely insane. God tier level. But, yeah, sorry, not pumps. Current double barrel's not that great. Okay. C4s are S tier. C4s are absolutely insane. C4 is not meme tier. C4 is legitimately insane. Comboing, one of few things in PUBG that absolutely has no counter for most players is putting a C4 on a car and sending it at them. C4 is not a meme. It is a legit weapon. It's not a meme. It's an S tier utility. It also, if someone's ratting in a building, you can get them out of the building by placing a C4. So, C4 has so much utility. It's not a meme to me. Crowbar is an F. No one uses it. And I know you can use it to open those doors on Vikendi, but, like, nobody does that, and the loot in that room isn't even worth the effort. Crowbar, F tier, useless melee, shouldn't exist, doesn't do anything. Crossbow's meme. Very fun gun to use. Should be buffed, in my opinion. Needs some buffs. But it's a meme, right? It's not really, yeah. It needs a buff. It's just a meme weapon. Use it when you're memeing. That's it. That's all. DBS. DBS would have been S tier, like, 4 months ago, but they did nerf it a bit. It's still really, really, really good. But de facto, the nerfs that they've done to it have made it an A. Top of A, though. I don't think it has the range it used to have. It still does have some crazy range, but it used to have even crazier range. And that's what made it so OP. So I don't think it's an S anymore. I think it's an A. Deagle. Deagle's meme. I personally, the Deagle is my favorite pistol. It's not the best pistol, but it is my favorite. But it is definitely a meme for sure. In terms of, like, if I had to put it in the actual tier list, I think I would put it at an A. But it's a meme. You meme with the Deagle. That's what it's for. A lot of my meme games have involved Deagles. DP. DP is... D tier. DP is arguably the worst gun in the game. The only reason it's not going to go in F tier is because that's where all the melee weapons are probably going to go. And the R45 also is going to go in there probably. I mean, you can use a DP28, but the recoil is absurd. The recoil is stupid difficult to control. Standing recoil with a DP might be the hardest gun in the game to control while standing. The only thing, there's only two things that are good about the DP. One, that it's called DP, and two, the reload sound when you have an empty mag. That are the only two good things about DP28. So, flare gun. I mean, it's kind of hard to categorize flare gun. I mean, I'm just gonna put it in S tier because it is S tier. A flare gun either gives you a crate gun or a BRDM. How is that not S tier? What else is there to say? It's just S. Stun grenade. Stun grenade, S or A? I'm going to put them in A just because of how finicky they can be. The problem with stun grenades is that sometimes you throw a stun in front of someone and they get stunned for 10 seconds, and sometimes you put a stun in someone's mouth and they don't get stunned at all. So, I think with the stun grenade, they're not consistent. But if they were consistent, I think they would go at the bottom of S. They do like to hit invisible walls. That's also true. But stuns are heavily underused by a lot of PUBG players. I think your average PUBG player doesn't utilize stuns enough. So, yeah, I would put it at the top of A. G36. G36 is a very mid AR. It's either going in C or the bottom of B. I'm going to put it in C. G36 is just mid. It's very usable, but, like, there's not really a reason to use it over 75% of other ARs. It's pretty bad. But there are worse ARs out there, so I'm going to put it in C. Frag Grenade is S. Frag Grenade is beneath Frag Grenades are super OP. There's a reason why almost every fight in comp PUBG starts with frag grenades. Frag grenades are one of the few weapons in PUBG where you don't need to be visible to your enemy to kill them. Grenades are legitimately like top 5 most OP things in PUBG, in my opinion. They are so insane. If you learn how to prime a grenade, it's ridiculous. I mean, not even learning how to prime them. Grenades are just insane. It's too insane in my opinion. They're too good. Easy S tier. Groza. I'm gonna go bottom of S tier. Groza's insane. It does have some ridiculous recoil though. So that is probably why I'd put it at the bottom of S. I'd probably put it. I'll put it above the AUG, actually. We'll do this. Yeah, the Groza is insane. It's very, very good. It's not the best crate gun, though. There are way better crate guns. M4. M4 is going into the top of A. I am an M4 simp, personally. I would go to war for the M4. I think people have on it too much, even though it has gotten nerfed. It's still very, very good. But it's simply not as good as an AUG or a barrel. AUG, barrel, Groza are way better than the M4. So, top of A for me. Just because it has been nerfed a little bit. But it will stay at the top of A 100%. K9. K9 is S tier. It is the best ground spawn bolty in the game. It does more damage than the other ground spawn bolties. It sounds good. It feels good. It's just the best ground spawn gun. One of the best ground spawn guns in the game, completely. The K9 is fantastic. M16. C tier. It would go in D tier if you couldn't put an 8x on it, but the fact that you can put an 8x on it makes it C tier. The M16 is just simply trash. It used to be S tier back in 2017. It is now just trash. Burst fire guns are just not that great. Doesn't have an auto mode. It's just not that great. You can put an 8x on it, which is nice, but with how good the loot is these days, you don't really need... It's pretty rare that you only find an M16 for long range. So, trash. C. There are worse things, but a lot of things are better. 1911. It is a pistol, and it's not really a meme pistol either. 1911's decent. I'm putting it at the bottom of C. With full attachments, the 1911 is not... Nah, I'm putting it at D. It's not bad with full attachments. But, like... A lot of the time, you're using a 1911 is on a hot drop because you didn't find anything else, and 7 bullets is pretty bad. So... Okay, M249. The current M249 is the most underrated gun in the history of PUBG. In the history of PUBG. I think the M249 right now is absolutely god tier. It is arguably the best auto gun in the game. People just don't know, dude. People just don't know. It is not adequately rated. So many people don't know how good the M249 is. The M249 is so good. It is so good. You get a better than the MG3. The bullets are lighter with the M249. You get double the mag capacity. It has less recoil when standing and crouched than the MG3 does. It's so good, and people just have no idea how good it is. I think the most important thing about the M249 is the ammo situation. I think this is heavily underrated. You can carry double the bullets, and M249 ammo at 5.56 is so much lighter than 7.62. So you can carry infinitely more ammo than you could with an MG3. Because the MG3 requires 7.62, which is so much heavier. And since the mag capacity is half on the MG, you have to put that in your inventory. Like, you don't get the extra bullets in your mag. So, M249 is so good right now. More people need to use it or not, because you'll kill me with it, because it's so good. But... most underrated gun in the history of PUBG. Sorry, underrated gun in the history of PUBG. I was saying that right. M24. I'm going to give you one reason why the M24 is going in... I'm going in B. Okay, here. Okay. This is the reason. You guys have already heard me say this before. The one reason why the M24 is very much inferior to the K9 is because it takes 3 shots to a level 3 vest to kill someone with an M24. It only takes 2 with a K9. These days in PUBG, the loot is so good. There are multi-crates, there's secret rooms, there's 10,000 ways to get level 3 gear these days. The damage difference between the K9 and the M24 is significant enough that the K9 is way better. For me personally, I think bullet velocity is overrated with bolties because you just need to lead more. It's not that difficult. Like, if you're using a K9, you just need to lead a little bit more. And you just get used to it. If you run the K9 enough, you will get used to the K9. The bullet velocity on the M24 will not make much of a difference in the end anyways. The damage is way more important in my opinion. So I also think the extended mag part of the M24 is not important. Like, oh wow, you get 3 extra bullets in a bolty. When does an extended mag on an M24 ever kill you or help you get a kill? Like, it's not that important of an attachment. So K9 is light years better than the M24. Specifically because of level 3 vest spawns and how everyone has level 3 vests here. So Barrel. Barrel is S tier. Barrel is very good. Is the best close range AR ground spawn. It's just really good. It's very consistent. I'm not that great with it. It's not the best at long sprays, but it's one of the few ARs that can compete with an SMG up close. So it is easily S tier for me. Yeah, it's just one of the few guns that can compete with an SMG. So, all right, P92. I'm going to put P92 at the bottom of C because it does get more. The one time you're going to be using a P92 is in a hot drop, and you do get 15 bullets with it, which is a lot better than a 1911, which only gives you 7. It's still a pretty pistol. It's not really a meme pistol either. But the fact that you get 15 bullets does make it a lot more usable than a 1911, even though the 1911 does do more damage. All right, machete, F tier, trash, useless, garbage. It's a useless melee weapon. Mini. It's a tough one. I've been on the mini a lot recently. I'm going to go bottom of A tier just because on longer range maps, you're not going to find a better DMR because of the bullet velocity. Yeah, it is very consistent. I personally do not like the Mini anymore. I think the MK14, sorry, the MK12 is light years better, and the MK14. So I'm not a fan. It's also weak. But the fact that it does have, like, pretty manageable recoil, and it does have really high bullet velocity, puts it at the bottom of A. MK14, I mean, I honestly, I can't really pick between MK14. They're interchangeable. Arguably, best gun of the entire game. I don't need to say much else about the MK14. It is easily S. Not much else to say. I mean, you already know. I don't need to argue either way. It's S tier. Arguably the best one. Mutant. Mutant is a C tier. I will say that now that you can spam the Mutant, it is a lot better than it used to be. But it is still pretty garbage. It's just a burst fire weapon. That's the problem. It also requires... The only way the Mutant is usable, in my opinion, like usable throughout an entire game, is if you have it fully attached, which requires you to have 5 different attachments. Like, I think a Mutant with like a 6x and a lightweight grip is actually a pretty decent gun. But you have to find everything. Like, you have to find 5 different attachments, which is a lot of attachments. That's not including the scope, too. So, just based on that, I think it's a C tier. Burst fire weapons are rough in PUBG. Molotov. Molotov is probably just an A. I mean, Molly is really good. It's really good for area denial. It's really good for buildings. But it also is pretty easily counterable. It's pretty easy to move away from a Molly. But I do think the Molly is still really good. I still carry plenty of Molotovs. So I just think it's an A tier. I just don't think it quite comes up to a grenade level usage. I think A is a pretty good spot for it. Mosin. I would personally put the Mosin at like D because I hate the Mosin. It has the exact same stats as a K9 though. I just hate the way it sounds. I don't know what it is about the Mosin. I don't like the way it sounds. I don't, and I just think it shouldn't exist because it's literally just a K9 that's reskinned. Like, why does the Mosin exist? It's a K9. it's the same exact weapon stats as a K9, which kind of tilts me. But, like, based on, like, I mean, I'm just going to put it at A. Like, it's still better than the M24 because of damage. But, like, it doesn't feel like a K9. And K9's the OG. It doesn't have the nostalgia effect. I think the K9 just feels better. Even though they're statistically the same gun. Honestly, I'd put the Mosin lower if it wasn't for logic, because I hate the Mosin. But is it longer? Is it longer? I've never even thought about that. I don't know, man. Okay, MP5. If this was 2023, I would put the MP5 in S. But I think the MP5 has been nerfed very, very hard. So the MP5, in my opinion, used to be the best SMG in the game. Easily. Easily the best SMG in the game. I think with the range nerf, it's like above mid. The MP5, the one thing that set the MP5 like from other SMGs was its range. Now it gets outranged by the UMP. So I just don't see why in any world you would use the MP5 over an UMP. Like, I just don't think it has the close range ability of other SMGs. Of a couple other SMGs. And now that it doesn't have the range, I just think it's just a B now. I think other SMGs are better. I think the Vector is better. I think the UMP is light years better. I think the JS9 is light years better. And I think the MP9 is also light years better than the MP5. So if this was a year ago, it would have been an S tier, but I don't think it's an S tier anymore. The 7.62 revolver, D tier. I mean, it takes way too long to reload. It does a lot of damage, which is really nice. But it just reloads too slow. Not even meme. Yeah, okay, I'll put it in meme. I forgot meme tier existed. I'll put it in meme tier. I respect that. It's a meme. I can feel that one. All right, I agree. I don't have an argument against that. Glock. If this was... Cause gonna be so mad. If this was 2021, the Glock would probably be a B tier. But now... No, I'm not gonna put Glock in meme. Glock's a legit weapon. But now that everyone and their mothers is running level 3 gear because of how good loot is and secret rooms and multi-crates, the Glock, that's before they nerfed drive-bys with pistols, Dad. Now that everyone and their moms is level 3 gear, the Glock just is too weak to compete, in my opinion. I still think, as a strafe weapon, it's pretty good. But, like... Where am I gonna put it? I'm gonna put it right here. But I didn't get them nerfed. But like with level 3 gear these days, I just don't think it works. I just don't think pistols can compete, man. All right, Pan. Pan is the ultimate meme weapon. It is, I mean, arguably it's the #1 meme weapon in PUBG, right? It's S tier. It's S tier. It's an S tier, man. It's the ultimate. It is S tier. Pan is S tier, but I would also say it's the ultimate meme. It's the meme S tier. I can put it in either one. It's the #1 melee weapon in PUBG. It's the ultimate meme weapon. The Pan is the GOAT. It's just, you know, what else can I say? Panzers are S tier. They're OP. They're one of the easiest weapons in PUBG to use, if not the easiest weapon in PUBG to use. They are so OP. It's just point and click. It's point and click. And they're really good for memes, too. Not only are they a top-tier meme, they're also a top-tier just killing someone. Better than grenade? Yeah, but you can carry multiple grenades in your inventory, which you can't do with a Panzer. So The Panzer is ridiculous. All right, PP Bison. PP Bison is trash. It's just a very low tier SMG. The PP sucks. PP is I don't know. I'll put it right here. PP sucks, man. It's too weak. It barely does any damage. It's just it's too weak. QBU. The biggest problem with, I'm gonna put it in B. I think the QBU is actually a really good DMR. QBZ is tough just because it's like not on a lot of maps. That's the big downside with the QBZ. I think it's a really, really good AR. The only problem is that it's just not on a lot of maps. So I'm gonna put it at the bottom of A tier. I think the QBZ is bottom of S tier. I think it's an S tier weapon. But like I said, the one thing that holds it back is that it's only on like Sandhawk, it's only in Tago error zones, and then Rondo. It's definitely better than the M4. It just sucks that it's not on more maps. I think it's a really good gun. I really like it. But yeah, it's just a lot of people don't use it because of how hard it is to find. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's the right spot. All right, maybe the only gun this might be the only gun that goes in F tier. I think the R45 is complete garbage. I hate this gun. The kick on it is stupid. You only get 6 bullets. I think the R45 might be the worst gun in PUBG. I hate it. I hate everything about this gun. S12K. I think the S12K got a big buff when all the other shotguns got nerfed. I'm gonna put it in B though. I mean, it's still very, very good. You can strafe really fast with it and shoot people. You do get a lot of bullets. Yeah, I know it's still an S12K. I don't know. It doesn't have much utility in late game compared to other shotguns. If you want to use them in late game, it doesn't have the range that like a DBS or a pump has. But it does have a lot of bullets, and it is semi-auto. No. Well, if a weapon in a class, if a bunch of weapons in a class of guns get nerfed, I mean, and a one gun doesn't, I think that gun gets buffed, right? Because like shotguns have specific utility, right? So if all the other weapons in that utility get nerfed, it buffs the one gun. Because like when they nerfed shotguns a few months ago, they didn't nerf the S12K, but they nerfed the pump and the DBS and a couple of the other ones. Not enough, in my opinion. Well, I don't know. They got pretty nerfed, but maybe it could be higher. But I'm gonna put it in B. Sawed Off is gonna go probably in B. The Sawed Off is only going in B because you can put it in a secondary slot, or else it would probably be lower. The one thing about the Sawed Off is that I think it's only, I could put it in meme, yeah. Could put it in meme. It's not a meme, though. It's not. Sawed Off is not a meme, dude. It's a legit weapon. I'm going to keep it in B. I think the one thing about the Sawed Off is that it needs a choke. That's the important thing with a Sawed Off, is it needs a choke. Without a choke, I think it's very, very bad. But with a choke, I think the Sawed Off is actually very usable. I just think it's necessary for a choke, so I think it's going to go in B tier. If it didn't fit into a secondary slot, though, it'd definitely be lower. Scar. I still think, even with the Scar buff, it's very mid. It's a lot better than it used to be because of the buff, but I still think it shoots way too slow, and there is zero reason to use it over an M4. It just shoots way too slow. It's just too mid. The buff did not do enough to make it a usable weapon. Sorry, a good weapon. I'm glad they buffed it, because now it's not useless, but it's still not good. So, good old B tier for me. Is this a sickle? I'm just gonna put that in F and not need to say anything. I would love a Scar H. Scorpion. Scorpion is arguably the best weapon in the secondary slot that you can have. That being said, it's still a Scorpion. I'm going to put it at the bottom of B. I think the Scorpion, because the extended mag gives you 40 freaking bullets, which is absolutely insane, I think it is the best secondary slot weapon. Sorry, pistol, I should say. The sawed-off is better, in my opinion, because of how much damage it does up close. But I think it is the best pistol slot that you can have. Like, it's such a good secondary gun, and it's really good for drive-bys from the driver's seat, too. Because even though they nerfed how fast you can reload from the driver's seat of a car, if you have an extended mag on the Scorpion, you still got 40 bullets. So, I think the Scorpion is the best secondary pistol in the game. SKS. Top of C tier. SKS is pretty bad. It is the worst DMR in the game. That's not the VSS. That's just facts. Every DMR is better except the VSS. It's usable, though. You can use it. It requires 5 attachments, not including the scope. But it is usable weapon. It's just there's no reason to use it. It's just no why do you use it over any other long range gun? There's no reason. Yeah. Okay, SLR. SLR is tough because I don't use it because I hate the way it sounds. But I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna put SLR at the bottom of A. I think the SLR is still a very good weapon. It does a lot of damage per shot. The only thing about the SLR is that it hurts my ears, so I never use it. It makes my it makes my ear holes bleed. So I still think it's a really, really good DMR. I don't use it. I still think the Mini's better because of the bullet velocity is far superior to the SLR, even though the Mini takes a lot more shots. Yeah, I like where I put it. Smoke grenades are an S tier. Probably put it right there. I mean, smoke grenades. You can't. It's pretty rare that someone wins a game of PUBG without a smoke grenade. Smoke grenades going in S tier. The one thing I wish about smoke grenades is that they bloomed better on uneven terrain. It is very annoying when terrain's uneven and you get spotted because of it. But I mean, it's easy S tier. Sticky bombs. I mean, this is easy. This is so easy. Sticky bombs are a meme. Tommy gun. Tommy gun is a very below mid AR. Or sorry, SMG. There's no reason to use it over most SMGs. It is very firmly C tier. Almost every other SMG is better. Drum mag, 9mm, just doesn't feel right. Blue zone grenades. I'm gonna go blue zone grenades. The only reason I'm hesitating with blue zones is because they are very heavy. Which I'm not a fan of. Like, I'd rather carry frags personally, but they are really good for area denial. A mod that goes through wall. Yeah, but they're even easier to avoid though. And they're also countered by jammer packs. That's the thing. Yeah, they bloom slowly. They're countered by jammer packs. And they're very heavy. They're heavier than Molotovs also. But Molotovs stack too, though. The problem is, because of how heavy blue zone grenades are, it's really hard to carry a lot of them. Sorry, like, for me personally, I'd rather just carry a frag. If I'm gonna keep one, I just think that I do think the blue zone is strong. I do think it's really strong. I think with jammer packs, it makes them an A tier. If jammer packs didn't exist, I mean, if you think about it, if someone doesn't have a level 3 backpack these days, they have a jammer pack. Worst, oh, it's not the worst throwable. No chance. Decoy grenades? I'm going to keep it at A. I think it's just too easily countered. That's all. Okay, here's another thing about the blue zone grenades I hate. If someone backs up from a blue zone grenade, it's really hard to see them through the blue zone grenade. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to, like, use it to move someone from a spot and then be able to see them behind it. So that's the other thing. I'm keeping it an A. I think mollies are better. Decoy grenades are useless. They never work. They only work on bad enough players. Most of the time, they only work on bad enough players that you probably would have killed them anyways. They don't sound real. They're kind of useless. I don't think they're F tier. I just think they're D tier because they can be. They could be. I don't know. Maybe I should put it. It's not even a good meme though. Like, they don't work. They don't work, man. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of D because they do have a little bit of utility. And one thing you can do, and I used to do this in Karakin a lot, I used to throw them at my enemies so that they wouldn't have any audio. I would, like, throw, like, three of them at someone on a rock, and they wouldn't be able to hear anything because it's so loud. But, like, what's that gonna do, Roy? What? But they're just useless, man. They're a waste of space in your inventory. They're not even a good meme, in my opinion. Yeah. Is S tier. I don't know. I'm gonna put it right there. The is the current is the best SMG of all time. Because they buffed it. They gave it 2 more damage like a month ago, 2 months ago. The has insane range. It does limb damage multiplier. It's super good up close. You can strafe like crazy using it. They got buffed because now every SMG has 9mm. So now it's better than ever. You never run out of ammo anymore because there's 9mm everywhere. The current is insane. If I had a close range fight with someone, like in a building, and they said or Groza, I would take the because of the strafe speed. The is absolutely ridiculous. The should not have limb damage multiplier, man. And it has crazy range. The gun is ridiculous, man. No recoil. I would take Vector close range. I'd probably take Vector, but the is better in every other way, though. Well, limb damage multiplier shouldn't be a thing. No, it shouldn't be. Best grip for thumb or half? The is insane. Uzi is a very below mid SMG. I'm gonna put it in between the PP and the Tommy gun. It's just mid. It's below mid, sorry. It's just not that good. It's decent up close, but there's nothing about it that's fun. It also requires an attachment that isn't very common, the stock. Yeah, nothing else to say about it. Vector is a bottom of A tier in my opinion. The Vector lacks range, which is its biggest downside, but it is a top 5 gun up close. Limb damage multiplier, the fire rate on the Vector is tops in the game. Is it probably second behind the FAMAS maybe? Or is the FAMAS slower? Either way, the Vector, P90, if you want to think about the P90. The Vector is insane up close. The only reason it's not higher is because of its lack of range. That's the only thing holding it back. So, that's the only thing holding it back. VSS! The most overrated gun in the history of PUBG. I will put it, where am I putting the most overrated gun in the history of PUBG? I will put it, where do you like the zipline gun? Is it on here? It's useless. Zipline gun's useless. It's not a real weapon, though. It's not actually a weapon. It's useless now. It's probably, yeah, it's F. It doesn't have a utility. VSS will go, my honest opinion of the VSS. I will put it right there. VSS is heavily overrated. The VSS is a rat gun. It is best used when you want to play like a little, and if you're not using it to play like a little, why would you not just use a better weapon? The base version of the gun only has 10 bullets, and it's 10 bullets of 9 mil, which is weak as shit. Everyone has level 3 gear these days. The VSS is a pea shooter. If you're far enough from someone that they can't hear where the VSS is coming from, you're probably not hitting your shots anyways, because it doesn't have good range. Needs an extended mag to be useful. Completely garbage without the extended mag. Has no utility if it doesn't have one. Overrated gun. Rat weapon. Yeah, nothing else to say. Trash. Oh, it's super overrated. It's just not that good. It's just not that good. It's only useful for rats. Winchester. I think the Winchester feels like a meme gun. Yeah, I want to throw a Winchester at meme. The Winchester sucks. The Winchester sucks because it does 99 damage to a level 2 helmet. So if someone's full HP, you cannot one-shot them in the head with a Winchester, which is its biggest downside. I think if you're using a Winchester, you're memeing. Only good for... Oh, it's terrible on a hot drop. It's one of the worst hot drop guns in the game. Are you trolling? Please tell me you're trolling. I don't know. Stop VSSing me. Pump shotgun. I don't know. I'll put an A. If this was last year, it would be an S tier. I think they've nerfed the pump enough that it's no longer an S tier. It's still obviously God tier. Being able to full sprint strafe and shoot a gun that's point and click is pretty OP. But they have nerfed it to a point where, like, you don't really one pump too often anymore. I still do die to one pumps from shotguns pretty frequently, but not as much as I used to. It used to be that if you got pumped once, you'd almost always die. Now sometimes you don't die. So I think double barrel. I think the DP has way more recoil. You can't nitpick two different little parts of it. You can't nitpick one aspect of it and ignore the rest of it. Or the DP has probably the most difficult recoil in PUBG to manage. I think the DP standing up might be the most recoil you can experience in PUBG. Smoke gun. Why is smoke gun on here? It's not actually a weapon. I guess flare gun's on here. Smoke guns, I'm just gonna put it next to the smoke grenade. We're using S tier. Yep. It's a really good. I mean, it's just smokes are on there too, I guess. Yeah, smoke guns are really, really good. The one cool thing about smoke guns is if you don't have another secondary weapon, you can pick up a smoke gun, pick up one smoke grenade launcher, and then you have an extra smoke-free of inventory space. So it's like basically having a smoke grenade for free without any downside, right? So smoke guns are pretty good. You can always use them to like smoke off somewhere far enough that you can't smoke with a regular grenade, like smoking off like a rock or something so the person can't peek you. So smoke grenades are really good. Smoke launchers are really good. They just do take, if you're trying to shoot one next to you, they do take a little bit longer to bloom. MG3. The gun, I think, is a crate gun, but I don't really like it. It's tough, man. Because I'm gonna rate it higher than how I personally feel about it. Because it's better than. It's better than. I want to put the MG. I'm gonna put the MG in S tier. I personally do not like the MG. How you feel about things? Yeah, but I acknowledge that it's still a really good gun. I just think the M249 is better. The problem with the MG is that 7.62 is very heavy, and I think the MG3 just needs a lot of ammo. When you use an MG3, if you want to have enough ammo to last you through the game, you have to carry like 300 something 7.6. And when you carry 300 something 7.62, you can't really carry much else. That's my biggest problem with the MG. Like, you have to run low on util or meds or both. You just run out of ammo with that gun way too fast. The reload is insanely long, and you only get 75 bullets on a crazy fire rate. So I think the M249 is light years better. I just don't think the MG is... I acknowledge it's a crate gun. But I just don't personally like it. The MG3 has more recoil standing and crouched than the M249. It does have the least amount of recoil in the game while prone. But I just think the M249 is better. I mean, I'm just going to put it in S tier, but I don't like the MG that much. So, Dragunov is S tier. One of the most OP guns in PUBG right now. Being able to one-tap someone in the head, but you get 20 shots consecutively to do it, is super broken. I do think that it does have a bit of recoil and a bit of bounce, but as long as you have a competent cheek pad, it's pretty insane. So I think Dragunov right now is OP. I think it's very OP right now. Yeah. Dragunov S tier. It's OP. P90. The only downside to the P90 is it's the lack of ammo, which is a good thing. The P90 is insanely OP. It's just the ammo thing. If you could somehow procure more ammo, if you find 2 P90s, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, P90 is an S tier. The only problem I have with it is the ammo. That's the only downside to the entire weapon, is the ammo situation. But I don't think that's enough of a downside for it not to be S tier. So, it's probably even better for people who aren't good at the game, who don't fight everybody. You know, if you're someone who doesn't fight a lot or plays a little bit more passively, P90 is great because you won't run out of ammo. You get 200. Ace. Ace is B tier. It's just the definition of a mid AR. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. It's just mid. I think the QBZ, the barrel's better, the AUG is better, the M4 is barrel. I think the Ace is just mid. Ace is better than M4? Nah, y'all are trolling. Y'all are trolling. It's just mid. Pickaxe, dog. Useless utility. Stun gun is meme. We know this. Stun gun, easy meme tier. Never got nerfed. It's the M4 is still better than the Ace. M4 has way more range than the Ace does. Ace, way better long range. M4 better. Stun gun is meme. That's easy peasy. It's a cross. There's 2 crossbows. Mortar is meme. Can be used seriously, but it's pretty much a meme. Let's be honest. Yeah, it's just a meme. That's pretty easy. FAMAS is garbage. This should not be a crate gun. I'm gonna put it below M4. I understand some people like the FAMAS. I think the FAMAS is trash, especially in modes where you have multiple enemies, like duos or squads. You run out of ammo way too fast. It doesn't have any. It only has 30 bullets. How is this good at crate gun? It should not be a crate gun. It's a trash crate gun. It's the only crate gun that should not be a crate gun. It needs an extended mag to be useful. It doesn't have good range. It has still a lot of recoil, despite the fact that it's a 5.56 gun. A lot of recoil, doesn't have good range, doesn't have enough bullets. It's just simply not good enough to be in a crate. I would take it over any AR below it, but I would not take... If I'm trying to win a game of PUBG, if someone was just like, hey, win this game of PUBG, I would take an M4 over it. JS9, even though they nerfed it, I think is an S tier. I think the JS9, with its insane fire rates and limb damage multiplier, is still ridiculous. Obviously, pre-nerf, it was probably... The JS9 is probably closer to, like, a Panzer on this list before they nerfed it. But I still think this thing's a laser beam. Basically, no recoil and limb damage multiplier. An insane fire rate. Like, top 5 fire rate in the game. So, the only thing that's holding it back maybe is the fact that you can't put a scope on it. So... Oh, it was better than the... Yeah, 100%, because you didn't have to worry about ammo. The pre-nerf JS9 was better than a P90, because ammo was never a worry. Yeah, 100%. Is this a K2? Is this the worst AR in the game? Sorry, I was talking about the MP9. Never mind, you can put a scope on the JS9. Sorry. Yeah, I think the K2 might be the worst AR in the game. Yeah, the K2 is the worst AR in the game. Yeah. Nothing else to say. It's trash. The recoil pattern on the K2 is ridiculous for a gun. It's worse than the VSS? Nah. Yeah, it's garbage. It is... you know what? I still think it's better than the M16, though, because it has auto. Yeah, if I had to win... If someone told me to go win a game of PUBG, I would use a K2 over an M16 as my primary. Yeah, I would. Not a mutant, though. But I would take a mutant over a K2, but I would not take a K2... I'm sorry, an M16 over a K2. Yeah, never mind. I changed my mind. Lynx. Lynx is S tier. The big downside with the Lynx is just how unavailable it is, because it's only on one map. It only comes with 10 rounds. A lot of people just haven't used it, but the Lynx is god tier. It's the only weapon in the game that one-shots a level 2 vest. Sorry, gun in the game that one-shots a level 2 vest. It shoots through BRDM windows. It has no bullet drop. If you're shooting a Lynx at someone at 600 meters... You really just have to aim at them. You don't really need to put much height on it. Because even if you do hit them in the vest and not the head, they're going to die if they have a 2 vest. So, obviously, you know, I just think the gun's insane. Yep, the Lynx shoots through BRDM windows. Yep. It's a vehicle destroyer. It's a person destroyer. It's a god tier weapon. I think just because of the unavailability, though, I'll put it below P90. But it is arguably my favorite gun to use in PUBG, next to M249, MK, in terms of how much fun I have using them. It's next to those three guns. It's pretty nuts. MP9. MP9 is super underused, I think, right now. I think people have forgot, because this gun is only on Destin, I think people have forgotten how good it is. It's about the ammo? No, I do have complaints about the ammo. Well, no, I don't have complaints about the ammo. Well, it depends on the mode. I think 10 bullets in solos is good. In squads, 10 bullets is trash. If I could put the links at different tiers based on the mode, I would. If we were talking solos, Lynx is S tier. If we're talking duos, Lynx is the top of A tier. If we're talking squads, the Lynx is probably B tier. So, I agree that the ammo does hold it back. But I still think within those 10 bullets, it's insane. And I think if you just choose your bullets carefully, it's an insane weapon. So, yeah. I'm still putting it up at S. It's per bullet the best gun in the game. But yeah, I agree with you. If you're a squads player, the Lynx is not what you really want to find. 012. 012. I think I'm going to put 012 in meme. I think the 012 is just a straight up meme weapon. The 012, in my opinion, is one of the most fun games to use in PUBG. That being said, it's pretty garbage. Like, if I took it outside of meme, it would probably be in, like, C? Fun game, sorry. I don't know how to say words. It's fun. But I think whenever you're using an 012, you're not using it because you're trying to be serious. You're using it because you're trying to f around. So, it's a meme weapon, in my opinion. Not that it can't be really good up close, but I don't think people use the 012 seriously. So, also, finding ammo for it's a nightmare. MK12. I think MK12 right now is S tier. I think the MK12 is so good right now. Yeah. Right now, the MK12 fully decked is so good, in my opinion. Put a lightweight grip on that, and it's ridiculous, dude. I'm not a DMR. You guys know me. I've not been a DMR person very much the last few years, but the MK12 legitimately just feels so good. Guns insane. Like, it is, but it's not too insane. Like, it's not a Dragunov insane. Like, it's not too OP. I think it's just a really, really, really good DMR. And I think it's an S tier right now. The lightweight grip getting slightly nerfed kind of hurt it a little bit. But, I think it's still an S tier. And, that's my list. As far as I can tell, this is the best PUBG weapons tier list of all time.